All of the previous movies within this section covered the 42 project management processes that exist within the PMBOK guide, organized by process group. Remember that there are 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. I had mentioned that we could also organize these same 42 processes by knowledge area, essentially the subject that ties them together. For instance, all of the processes that relate to project time management, the schedule, are categorized under the project time management knowledge area. Likewise, all of the processes that relate to risk are categorized as part of the project risk management knowledge area. There are 9 of these knowledge areas, and one of them is responsible for tying them all together. This centralized knowledge area is the very first one that the PMBOK guide covers. It is integration. The other 8 knowledge areas include scope, time, cost, quality, human resources, communications, risk, and procurement. Our primary focus for the PMI SP certification exam is on the time management knowledge area, but we will need to touch on each of these other knowledge areas throughout this course series. The idea behind the image that you see is that all of these knowledge areas overlap. They interact with one another. They don't always occur in a particular order. As I always like to say, they are very dynamic, like the processes that make up each of them. Now that you understand this, I'd like to mention just a brief note on each of them, starting with integration. The purpose of integration management knowledge area is to coordinate all aspects of the project management plan in order to accomplish the project objectives. It brings together the results of all the other knowledge areas. And there are 6 processes total within integration: develop project charter, develop project management plan, direct and manage project execution, monitor and control project work, perform integrated change control, and close project or phase. You'll recognize all of these processes because we've already covered them in the previous movies of this section. Remember that this is just another way to classify them. Our next knowledge area is project scope management. This knowledge area manages the project scope to avoid scope creep by defining and controlling what is and isn't included in the project. There are 5 processes: collect requirements, define scope, create WBS, verify scope, and control scope. Next is time management knowledge area. This knowledge area is concerned with completing the project on time by developing the project schedule and monitoring deviations from that schedule. There are 6 processes: define activities, sequence activities, estimate activity resources, estimate activity durations, develop schedule, and control schedule. In the real world, most of these processes will occur together or at the same time and not necessarily as separate processes. Project cost management knowledge area is next. The purpose here is to complete the project within budget. There are just 3 processes: estimate costs, determine budget, and control costs. This knowledge area includes several formulas that are important to know even for the PMI SP exam. The 5th knowledge area is project quality management. This also contains just 3 processes: plan quality, perform quality assurance, and perform quality control. The purpose of this knowledge area is to ensure that the project satisfies the needs for which it was undertaken. We also want to prevent defects and rework through preventive measures taken as part of quality management. Next is human resources. This knowledge area is where we plan how we'll acquire, develop, and manage the project team. As you can imagine, many of these efforts occur during the execution of the project work. Following human resources is project communications management. This knowledge area is relevant for all facets of project management in many ways, including the scheduler, because communicating with others, whether it's verbal or written, is always something that's present. This knowledge area is responsible for connecting people and information to results in successful communication within the project. There are 5 processes: identify stakeholders, plan communications, distribute information, manage stakeholder expectations, and report performance. The project risk management knowledge area is next. This knowledge area is responsible for increasing the probability and impact of positive events and decreasing the probability and impact of adverse events. There are 6 processes in total: plan risk management, identify risks, perform qualitative risk analysis, perform quantitative risk analysis, plan risk responses, and monitor and control risks. And the final knowledge area is project procurement management. There are 4 processes in total which manage the entire procurement process. As you may have guessed, this knowledge area manages the purchasing activities of the project and the life cycle of the procurement contracts. We literally flew right through these knowledge areas. If you need additional information on these processes or more detail, I suggest going through the PMBOK Guide Part 1 VTC course, which takes you through a more detailed review, and other courses of the PMBOK Guide series will walk you through each process in great detail. My purpose in taking you through these processes quickly is to help you visualize and connect how these processes are used and categorized so that you can keep that information in the back of your head as we go through the processes and information in detail that are relevant to scheduling. And that brings us to the closing of this movie and section, which focused on a high-level and snapshot review of the PMBOK Guide's project management processes.